Alright guys, these are the baby backs that we have to work with. So since they're not very many, they're not in a continuous rack. Since they're sliced, I'm just going to go with a solid butt rub. This is one of my favorites. It has a little bit of spice to it. Really good color. So we'll see how these babies turn out. And at the 250 mark, we are slowly climbing. I think that's good enough to start putting this on. The smoke cleared up a little bit. We're not fully clean yet. Hopefully it gets a little better. Here's our product that we're going to be working with today. So I've got it dialed way back as I showed you before. I had a whole lot of coals, so I'm just about a 1 right now. I may have to dial that up a smidge later on, but we'll see. We're gonna burp. So one thing I noticed about these sliced ribs is it does look like they took the silver skin of that back membrane off, which is nice. I'm a big believer in taking that off. But unfortunately, you get things like this. It looks like they didn't go all the way through. I've got a bone here, a bone on this side. So I got one big fat piece of meat here. I'm gonna try to lay it out butterfly style on the grate. Hopefully it can get enough smoke and also get the heat all the way in. I don't want to have one teeny one and one fat one. Otherwise, we're just gonna have a very unsuccessful cook. So put that down. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys, we just dropped the ribs just like 5 minutes ago, but I thought we'd check in on the temp here. Looks like we're just about a 275, which is great. It's settled in just right. Since I am on a little bit of a time crunch, I'm gonna give it just a bit more air. And I think I may have even felt a raindrop on my back. That'd be quite unfortunate. One thing that I didn't get to put in my unboxing review is these tables right here are actually quite nice. They didn't fully fit into these hinges. As you can see, the metal is pressing right here and right here. So craftsmanship isn't absolutely precise, but pretty solid. Pretty solid. And I'm out of beer, so I had to switch to rum. That's unfortunate. But I will say, having this is completely different than cooking with this box and having nothing but this. This is like a hot pan, and you cannot use it really for hardly anything other than when you're putting the meat in cold at the very beginning. So I really appreciate having these tables. All right, guys, it's been about 30 minutes. I've settled into about 300 degrees. Unfortunately, this thermometer is still fogged up, so we'll have to go digital style, but I hope it's reading right. I dialed this back just a smidge off of the 275 being ideal. I highly doubt we'll ever get to 275 during this cook. I know half an hour is too soon to check, but given that these are slices and do intend on crutching them later, I want to make sure that I'm not crisping them up and drying them up. So we're going to take a look. Wow. Those do look nice, but they are not even close to done. But no worries on the crispiness. All good there. I do not have a clean smoke. You can see a bit of it coming out here. Clean-ish. There's a breeze that's carrying it away that makes it look a little better than it actually is. All right, shockingly, I was able to bring the temp down just a little bit. We are very tight on air. At about a half. I even dialed back the upper just a smidge past the 1. We're going to take a quick peek, and I think it might be time to crutch, but we're going to go take a look real quick and see what we're dealing with here. Ooh, that's very sooty. That's all right. Yeah. I don't think we've rendered a whole lot. but definitely have the smoke on them now. So, gonna come back, we're gonna wrap that up and crutch this baby out. All right, so this is when all this cook space really comes in handy. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna tong off the ribs, close back down the Komado, put them onto my double layer of foil here, and then I'm gonna use my tongs to dip some paper towels into apple cider vinegar. I don't have a spray bottle, but I don't wanna just cake it on there and have it boiling in the vinegar, but I do wanna keep it moist. So that's what I'm gonna do. We'll see. I'll see if I can record the process. Doing it one-handed is a little bit tough. All right, here we go. A lot of smoke. A lot of smoke, everybody. But those, gosh, those do look good. So I'm smoking with hickory, and I got some very large Kingsford chunks. Yeah, they need to soften up a bit. Got these Kingsford chunks, and they are quite large, and I'm thinking what they're doing is flaring up down there a good bit, if they're not already burned up. But I think that's the source of all this very heavy smoke that I have going here. So we're gonna package these up like a little envelope. Let's get this closed before it gets too much of that oxygen in there. All right, so I'll move this over here so we can remain one-handed. Rotate. Oh, damn. Well, it's bound to happen. That's all right, though. Life goes on, right? Note to self, remember where the edge of your working space is. All right, so let's do this one more time. Probably should have cut this apple cider vinegar a little bit, considering how much I'm kind of dolloping on here, but I think it will all be just fine. Alright, so we're going to remove the bowl. I'm going to need 2 hands to wrap this up, so I'll come back. Alright, we've got our ribs packaged up here. I'm going to get it back onto the Komado. And at this point, I normally would say there's no sense in adding more wood, but can't take away what I've added here. So we're going to go at least another 45 minutes, and we'll crack the package and see what we have there, but I'm thinking we've got another hour and a half. All right, guys, it's been about 2.5 hours. Most of the time we've been about 300 degrees on these ribs. We crutched it after about an hour. I think we're gonna be ready to sauce, let that caramelize for a quick second and pull off. But we're gonna open up that foil pack and see where we stand. All right, so let's open up. See what we got. Man, that's starting to smell good, guys. That's starting to smell really good. All right, we'll close this back down so it doesn't try to get those coals lively. I kind of sealed these guys like I said, like a little envelope here. I see some fat here on the outside. This package was upside down before, so I see some fat here. Glad we got some rendering. See some pulling from the bone. That's all good stuff. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This one is shockingly tougher than all the rest of them. Even this big guy. Wow, oh yeah. Oh, that's real good. Okay, so we're gonna sauce these puppies. All right, put the camera down, we'll come back. All right, so what we got here is a little Sweet Baby Ray's. This is my favorite barbecue company. Between the hickory and just the classic, these are my favorite. They also offer one that has a little bit of heat to it, which is good as well. I'm just gonna do a little drizzle here. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna take this little paper towel, do just a little spread. I don't want a thick sugar coat of anything. But I do want all the meat to get that delicious flavor. Unfortunately, I'm not going to spend time flipping it. So we'll just deal with what we get. Those look nice and glossy. Those look pretty good. All right. So put that over there. And we are going to put this guy in. All right, guys. That's in. I said we give that about 15 minutes. I think we'll be good to go. All right, we've been about 300 for a little while now, and we have been trying to cook down our sauce a little bit, get a nice glaze going. Let's burp it up. There we go. See what we're looking at. Oh my, y'all. That's dinner, baby. I'll tell you what's interesting here is a lot of rendered fat going on in this tin foil, which was not there, I believe, when I put it back on the grill after the sauce. So maybe it came off the sauce, I don't know, but that yellow tint indicates that. Anyway, I'm gonna pull this guy. Let's see what we can do here. I've got my cheap old little paper plate. Great thing about tin foil is it takes on the characteristics of heat, but it also lets go of that heat almost immediately, which is just fantastic. All right, next up, taste test. All right, guys, I could not be more excited about tasting these ribs. Now, they're still pretty hot. I'll let them rest for a few minutes, but they're still pretty hot. So I'm gonna pick the smallest rib here. All right. I believe the test is the bite mark. I'm afraid to sink my teeth into this here. All right, we're gonna take a small bite. We'll do a better bite test a little bit later when it cools down for a minute, but we're gonna go for taste right now. Hot dog. I just came right off. I know that's not the textbook bite mark we're looking for here, but I took a smidgen of a bite. One little chunk came off right away. Just like that. That's bite mark. I wish I had sauced the other side because I did such a light coating that it's been reduced, and there's just a light, very light flavoring, which is, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I would appreciate just a little bit more of that flavor because I really do like that Sweet Baby Ray's. So the bones pulled back that much. We'll call that a 1/4 inch. The bite went well. There's no silver skin, so I'm expecting the backside of some of these to be pretty fantastic as well. Overall, a lot better than I thought it'd be for these individually sliced ribs. I wouldn't call them overcooked. They did take 3 hours, maybe it's 2.5. Employed the crutch, which that helped me tremendously. Can't taste the apple cider vinegar whatsoever. Some people complain about that in the competitions. I can't taste it. Anyway, I'm pleased.